In this video presentation, we're going to talk about the BGA Calculator. First, select the Surface Mount drop-down for all the surface mount component families, and the first one in the list is BGA. Either double-click on the BGA line or select the OK button. In this case, we're just going to double-click on BGA. Now, in the BGA, we have at the top, add fiducials. So if you need fiducials in your BGA, I would highly recommend that you go to Options and go to Tools, Options, Components, and Surface Mount and Ball Grid Array. And then you would type in your pin pitch of where you want to start putting in fiducials. And I want to make a note that the orientation for pin 1 is in the lower left. And if you change it to anything else, like upper left, it'll swap the D and the E dimensions in the calculator. We prefer pin A1 to be in the lower left corner. Any other rotation will swap the dimensions around. Let's get started. We're going to select the demo button to fill in some dimensions for us here. And I'm going to show you how to delete or remove pads. Select a window around the inner row of pads. I'm just clicking and dragging, and I'm going to leave the outer 2 rows, and I'm going to highlight the inner rows. And then I'm going to right mouse button and I'm going to hide them. Then I'm going to select I can see the outlines of the hidden rows. I'm going to select the next set of rows just by clicking and dragging a window, and I'm going to restore them. Now, if you want to delete one pad, you hold your control button down on your keyboard and you select your pins. You could select one pin without using the control button, but if you want to select a second pin, you'd hold your control button down. And I'm going to delete the outer pins. I'm going to hide them. And once I'm completed with the BGA, populating the balls that I want to unpopulate, I select one of them, and then I hit my delete button on my keyboard, and it gets rid of all the hidden pins for me. So let's go back to the rotation. We have the D dimension and the E dimension. The D is the package length, and the E is the package width. And then we have E and D pin pitches. For the D pin pitch, of course, is going to be in the horizontal, and the E pin pitch is going to be in the vertical. And here it is. You can have a D pin pitch here and an E pin pitch. Now, if D and E are the same values, there's no need to populate the E cell. But if the pin pitch is like 1 millimeter in the D and 0.8 millimeter in the E, then you would need to type in both dimensions. And then your pin quantity, how many pins are in the D and how many pins are in the E. And we have terminal type collapsing ball. And collapsing ball will make the pad smaller than the ball. So when it goes through reflow, the ball will collapse around the pad. But you can also select non-collapsing ball, and it'll make the pads bigger. Now, the thing that you have to remember most is the pin number method, alphanumeric rows. So that means that the rows are going to be alphanumeric. So that's A, B, C, D, E are in the rows, and the numeric is in the columns. So we have axis on D axis, alpha on the D axis. So the alpha, A, B, C, D, is in the D axis. And if you were to rotate the part so that pin 1 is up here, now everything's swapped. The D dimension and the E dimension swap. It doesn't make any difference if they're both the same values. If it's a square BGA, it makes no difference. But if it's a rectangular BGA, then all of a sudden now D becomes E because it's rotated. And then the alphanumeric rows, well, there's no more alphanumeric rows. So let me rotate it again. Alphanumeric rows. A, B, C, D, E. If you want to change the 3D model colors, select the bar in the 3D model colors. We have a green substrate for the FR4 material where the balls are attached. And then we have the conformal coating on top, the plastic body. But you can go ahead and change the 3D colors, and they're saved to the FPX file. So any 3D colors that you change are saved. If the manufacturer provides a recommended pad size, a diameter, you would select the footprint panel And then you would select Use Manufacturer's Data, and you would say, use the manufacturer's pad size. See, this is calculated by the calculator, but the manufacturer might recommend a specific pad size. If the manufacturer recommends a specific solder mask or a specific paste mask, especially paste mask, solder mask can be defined in the options, and so can paste mask, but not the shape of the paste mask. In other words, I've seen some data sheets where the manufacturer wants rounded rectangular pad shapes for the paste mask. And if that's the case, you would have to move the BGA to FP Designer. It brings along the assembly polarity, the silkscreen polarity, but you would have to go and edit the pad stacks. Edit the pad stack, and then the pad stack for paste mask right here is round. You would change the shape to square. Then you would change the corner style to radius, and then you would put in your radius. I'm going to put in a 0.05 millimeter radius, save changes, and then maybe you might want to even make it bigger, maybe 0.26, 0.27, 0.28, and save. And now I have rounded squares paste mask. If I wanted to add solder mask, you would simply just click on the Manage Pad Stacks and select the solder mask layer and then put an oversize in. Like, let's say if you want to put a 0.5 millimeter oversize in, that would be, let's say, you go to 29 and then enter and then save changes and then save and close. And now I have my solder mask. Let's zoom in on that so we can see. All right. There's your pad, your solder mask, and your paste mask. And that concludes this demonstration of the BGA Calculator.
Simplify, standardize, and automate an entire IPC and IEC compliant library. Detailed, accurate, reliable, professional. Highest quality footprints and 3D step models, clicks away. Many companies worldwide are easily generating their CAD libraries. You should too. Get a fully functional Footprint Expert Evaluation license for any CAD format and demo today. Contact us at pcblibraries.com or call 847-557-2300.